All right, that's there. That's what I'm looking for. Pull up. Switch chat. Yada 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 yada. Peter, please let me like drag windows around. Blessed. All right. I do believe everything's set up. And now I'm kind of just waiting on Hydra. I pinged Mr. Mans.
Hello?
Oh, speak of the devil. Greetings.
It is me. It's ItsHydraX.
Lord Hydra. Here to yell at me for parasol gaming.
Yeah, playing solo para. Derogatory. How dare.
Smile. Don't actually know which replay. Oh, yeah, that's a name.
Oh, I just looked at the announcements. Get off of me.
This
Stop
game's
This is no longer red.
Okay, I was messing with trios for most of the. Oh yeah, the Doppler games. I was like, I was pretty sure there's a couple of sets. I don't remember these LD games that much, and the Doppler games, and then I can probably just figure out if there's anything more I want to watch after that, because I have last night's B grade run until my power exploded. Streaming the game? I am. Okay. Hey, I'm not entirely. Well, no. So the things I usually end up focusing on arguably too much, and VoD reviews for myself are a lot more like micro interactions.
Sorry, the wind is blowing and my window is open and my blinds are going crazy. Going to close that.
It was starting to get stormy down here as well.
It's not even stormy. It's just
windy.
Just windy. It's like it feels like it's turning fall now, which is crazy to me. Like,
well, today was the solstice. Yesterday was the solstice. One of the two.
Was it?
Or
well,
not solstice,
it feels like
equinox.
it just. Yeah, it feels like it just immediately turned into, oh hey, it's fall now. There was no like cutoff. There's no blending between the seasons. It's fall now. Fuck with me, and then that was it.
I'm honestly okay with this though. I hate summer. Humid heat can fuck right off.
Yeah, I'm not down for summer. Like my computer just heats up my room, and then I'm just hot.
Yeah,
it's pain.
I'm currently in a place where I'm in one of the like hottest parts of the house as well, and it's just I got a fan. Sometimes it ain't enough.
I have 2 fans. It ain't doing jack. It's just pushing around hot air.
Yeah. The classic.
Pushing around hot air. Thank you very much. So are you streaming Gekrate or whatever?
That's my channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Followers. Do I not follow you?
Probably not. I mean, this is the only time I stream, and I don't think you often catch these. Y'all are often set gaming by this point in time in the night.
Oh, makes sense. Well, now I am. So
let's go.
Here we are.
Greetings, BBP. But yeah, so
yeah, who you playing? Like, what games? Like, what do you think your issues are?
So there's a couple of major things, and this is mainly from playing. Honestly, Gelato feels like she just destroys me for the things I do really badly the most. So that is mainly just like bad shot habits. Don't remember the last time I played Gelato. If I can find that set on here. Yep. Okay, here it is. That's probably the good first thing to watch. So bad shot habits, especially this set, because Gelato just knows when I'm gonna shoot a tier and like blows me up for it.
Jump over it and then just conk you on the head.
It's not even that. She will like there's one point in time where she dashed up double 2 HP, low profiled it as I was shooting it, and then it's just stuff like that. Or she doesn't automatically push block me out, so I go like crouch light, crouch medium into elk shot, and I get pillared because it's not a real block string.
Yep.
That sort of stuff. There, and I kind of have a list. I definitely need to look at more when I'm actually playing and trying to improve. A couple of things that are still really important are, especially when I'm in the corner after a push block, I tend to just dash forward and choose a violent option a lot. I know Adiva steals at me for that a lot. And I think recently I've actually started having a really bad habit of dashing up, but doing the approach with a dash jump rather than, if I'm in range, dash up and a grounded option. So dash up low, dash up 2 LP, dash up throw. And those are probably, I think, the things that help the most. And then there's matchup specific stuff, so like dealing with assists that are much better dealt with chicken blocking. I need to work on that more. But that's more like a specifically Ruby or any DP assist option. And then I especially if you have the eyes for it, would definitely like bigger theory habits, because when I end up watching my own VODs, I don't necessarily see as much that I'm like constantly running myself into a corner. I end up focusing on the small things, so it's like I needed to stand heavy punch, but I needed to do it later here, or I needed to jab here, or like I go through the answers and the small interactions and not look at the bigger picture of how I got in that position in the first place, sort of deal.
Yeah, so, yeah. See, like, when you're playing solo, it's like cool to like focus on those minor details, but you get so much from being solo that you can afford to look back a little bit better, which is one of the things I was gonna bring up. Not only just because I know you mostly play solo, but even then, if you like, of course, focusing on like minor situations, like this thing you should have did there, that thing you should have did there. Like, why were you even close or in that position in the first place? Like when you're playing the spacing, character.
Yeah,
so,
that's
is like.
Well,
it's like something to like always keep in mind.
The really close things, but it's like I'm at the mid range. I'm at the range Parasol really likes to be, and it's like I end up jabbing when they're already clearly in jump squat and gonna be with my jab by the time I'm done. I just end up focusing on interactions like that rather than
that'll happen. Like,
bigger habit things.
Yeah, that'll definitely happen, and it's like even more evident in the like Parasol matchup because. Like, you have, like, the tools to answer each other, and then, like, just jumping over tiers and conking each other on the forehead. It's, like, something that you can afford to do. Especially if you have, like, a double, like, any double assist, honestly. It's like, it frees you up to just do so much. But, I mean, like, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, so I think. Greetings, Ruby. You get to inadvertently learn para-matchup shenanigans. That was supposed to be a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And then, especially versus Gelato and LD, I find myself like able to fight back, but I still feel like I'm somewhat more consistently on the. It's gonna hit the assist. I didn't hit it.
That was a good blocking.
Yeah. But I find myself.
But I wanna focus on round start. Can you go back a bit?
Yeah, I mean,
know it's a bit late, but.
Yeah, and so I want to dash back up.
Yeah, so like while this is good, we need to like look at the situation a little bit differently, because what we realize here is that this is two Parasols, right? So there's like two options here because we both know that Gelato is running like what, Bomber, and then
pretty sure it's Bomber lock and load.
Yeah. So what you could be doing here is you could be going. There's like two major save options I would take here if I was a solo Parasol. My 1-2 options would be aggressive jump light punch or like some aggressive jump in at round start, because Bomber or lock and load is probably going to be too slow to contest you to just conquer over the forehead. And even if she does do something, you might trade, and then you're like in a situation where you like have to block at least like when the assist comes in, or maybe the assist doesn't activate. And then you're just back at neutral, and then you're like in a minor scramble, which is not bad. You're solo, so you can afford to do that. And then the other thing is like you're calling an assist, right? Or they're going to call an assist because they're going to call an assist round start and probably do something, jump at you, do shot. Shot's very common. Shot assist is very common. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
So what you could be doing here instead is like backdash and egret, and then you're like then you start setting up tiers with like M toss or like L toss, and then you set up your own barrier. You can punish the assist with those tosses, and then you have like some time to figure out your spacing.
Yeah, I have like, and obviously, the way I try and make my play is. I kind of make it more so I can autopilot. So I'm pretty sure the things I like to do in the soul matchup. So what I think I was trying to do here was get our tiers to clash in a range where 2 medium punch still debts it. So I can 2 medium punch my assist, or 2 medium punch the tier, hit the assist, proceed to block the next shot if it's coming, because the tier detonation also counts as a projectile. So yeah, the 3 main ways I try to avoid getting tiers on me is the one major one is having a tier right in front of me that I can detonate and then trade a shot afterwards. I will otherwise do 2 medium kick or try and either super jump / dash jump heavy kick over them. And so those are kind of my go-to things for having a tier on me.
Yeah, but I think the other thing to like consider is like, what if like they have so much time like after this shot right here where the assist is putting pressure on you. Even if you do trade the assist, they could always just like.
If I 2 medium punch here, it breaks the armor.
It breaks the armor, but you're like hittable. Like you're hittable here. Like this is a punishable like moment with the right dash, is what I'm saying. Like the right timing of the dash here could definitely get you like dash crouch light kick.
Okay.
Like this is a crouch light kickable moment.
Yeah.
Like let's say if you were to get that shot clash and then you 2 medium punched it. Like that's a risk that you can take, but that's something that you also just need to be aware of.
Yeah. Okay. And then I'm not getting the tier off me. Didn't get over the tier. And now I've already run myself.
This is fine. All this is fine. This is just trying to feel your way through the pressure. Good PVC. Good block.
And was I trying to go for? Or wait, no, that's the button. Was I trying to go for a pillar? No, I just messed up on that block.
I don't know, but it's okay. They didn't get much off it. They could have got so much more off it.
Yeah. Don't block those.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Understandable. So now you're like in a very terrible situation, right?
Yeah.
So like we could move this back, like go back, like all the way back before you got to like before you got hit.
Yeah, so I got tier stuck in the corner, blocked a bomber.
Like even right, like go back even further actually.
There we go.
Okay, so like right here, this is obviously like an undesirable moment. Like you obviously wanted to do something here, but if like I want to put it in perspective, like once you block a tier, you can always just backwalk, because like obviously pairs are starting, like more high level pairs are starting to actually use tier debts. Like ever since I started using them, I noticed more and more that other people were using them. I don't know, I'm not no pioneer. People have been doing this forever, but like it's just more noticeable that people are going to be deading now.
Yeah.
So like every single time you like block a tier, you should like a single tier, you want to be push blocking that tier or backwalking, and then you want to do something else. Then you need to think about like, okay, what do I do here next? So you push block the first tier, and then you're set up for a PVDC on whatever else. So you could literally use that PVDC to just like super jump, push block.
Yeah.
Like you're here in this situation where you're like, okay, I'm full screen, there's an assist coming at me. I want to take this advantage where the assist is going to be on cooldown, right? Like this is all a hypothetical situation, obviously, but the assist is on cooldown right here. If you'd gotten a push, you would have been in the air right about now if you had push block PVDC super jump, right?
I mean, yeah. Even though currently I still had time to react, I just down backed in the corner, and I don't think I 2 medium kick, or I just hold it. And then now I have the tier on me.
A second, and tier's on you. That's just like an awareness situation.
And then I do this.
We all still get hit by it. Like we all still get hit by it.
I mean, the tier it was going through was gonna hit me anyway. There.
Yeah.
That was.
But I'm just saying, we all still get hit by that.
And then dash up.
And like, since you messed up that one area, you're in the corner, and this is not where you want to be.
It's slow motion. It's just so weird.
I've started to notice that a lot of pairs will just run up and just check you with jab or crouch light kick, and then just
that
hard
is
kick you.
One of the things I straight up do the most. Like, I will jab for heavy kick. It is. I'm probably one of the pairs who does it more, although I definitely notice LD has started doing it a lot more to me.
Yeah, like most pairs will do it now, so I feel like at this point, like it's good. Like if you're down backing in the corner like that before, like you even are free from like the initial check, that it's okay to just do a pillar input, and then you'll probably still be able to block.
No, I mean, I play a very reaction focused defense, so I just need to figure out where to look for the tell for that. Because I haven't
like I
figured
mean,
it out yet.
when they double
Well,
like dash at you like that, like most of the time.
I mean, it's gonna be a high-low, but for me, it's like I react to other overheads that are just as fast. So I just need to figure out what the tell is here, and then either just block high or pillar it in reaction.
Yeah, like most of the time, I will like, I can react to like the pistol whip in the back hard kick most of the time. So when I'm just down backing, I just sort of look for it behind her head, and then just like, oh, okay, I can block this. But like if I realize I gotten checked, that's immediately when I just go for pillar input is what I do. Because it's obviously not gonna link. It's a little bit harder to do, but it's like one of those awareness things. Like it's not often that you fight a parasol anyway.
Yeah,
But...
I mean, she can do a full block, or like a true block string light kick into a crouch medium kick.
Yeah, she could, but
yeah, that's. I mean, either way, I'm just not happy right here.
Yeah, it's hard to block. It's hard to block, but like I've found that since more and more pairs are using, I just do that. Where that's also hard. I don't know how to do that still. I just not consistently.
I'm also not doing a great
job. You're just missing a lot of push blocks.
Well, yeah, I'm also just missing. I've noticed that's like the third time I missed crouch medium punch to death the tier. I was trying to stop the tier getting on me. Yada yada yada.
Yeah. I want to like see. Oh, I remember this actually. I want to see like more M-egret wherever possible. Obviously, like not like.
I don't use it. Yeah, it's weird. I don't think I actually end up using it all that much on the para matchup, or it depends on the day.
It's like once or twice. You use it like once or twice, maybe a match, maybe a set. But like it's more useful than just trying to go underneath the tier every time, just because it also blocks assists. And then it'll give you that extra little meter gain, which is nice, but then you're freed up to just like super jump to whatever.
Slow motion round start. I was just dash dancing. Okay.
This is still good.
Yeah, and then I get the
this is me. Yeah, this is still a fine round start.
No confirm.
So, go back. Right here. This is perfect. This is where you eat. The parasol has used her jump, right? And she's used her float. Which, I mean, she could still float, but she's going to get hit for doing float. And you have a shot out, she's in the perfect position. You know she's calling an assist, right? Like, she's probably calling an assist to get you off her, because this is a perfect situation where you want to be in. She might push block you too, which is also fine, but she doesn't hear. And you dash up. This is a moment where like several things could happen, but you chose to jump. Not ideal. Because she's down backing already.
This is one of the things I was talking about where I end up. I think I've really started defaulting to dash jump as my approach, and it's
this is not ideal. And even if it was ideal, the other thing, even if it wasn't like this, the other thing I started to do, which is a habit for me too, is I would air grab here. I know I would air grab here because she's up backing. Like people will up back all the time if they see you approach and jump. Yeah. So I started just air grabbing here to like apprehend that whole situation.
Yeah,
because she noticed that you jump.
I air throw a good bit, but I end up doing it much more. I will dash jump air throw, but that's if I notice they're up backing a lot. Oftentimes what I do just as a default habit is, because I also just delay button land on people a lot, so I'll delay air throw while I'm landing on them, catch them trying to chicken block.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the time where I start air throwing a lot.
Whenever you jump at someone, right, and you're in advantage, like you are in an advantage state there. A lot of the time, like I'd say 75% of the time, people are gonna up back because up back is so strong.
Yeah.
But it's like I want to like even with this whole like situation actually happening in mind, I want to like focus on this right here. This is right here. Pause.
There we go.
Okay. So this situation right here is a perfect situation. This is like a perfect mix-up situation.
dash up,
and
tick throw, dash up low.
yeah, there's so much that can be done in this situation that it's more likely than not, if you chose a different option instead of jumping at them and doing a button instead of like air grab, that you're gonna hit them majority of the time. So whenever I hit someone and they're in the air, they get hit by a tier, there's one thing or one or two things that they're gonna do. They're either gonna reversal call and assist, or they're going to do something like really dumb. They're gonna block. Like they have to pick a side. What I would do here if I was solo, and I know that they have an assist, I know they're probably calling Bella or double, is I would walk forward and det the tier when I see the assist come out, because they're still on block stun essentially, but like I know they're calling assist, so I would just det the tier and then shoot another tier, and you're still technically in advantage even though they could push block you out. But you've done damage to the assist to where you have like approach time.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something to keep in mind. Also, instead of jumping right here, you could just go high or low.
I dash up high low. I think I'm a little too far to throw, but
yeah, you're a little too far to throw. But like high low here is like perfect. And even if you were to go like high low, I wouldn't go like crouch light kick here, because I would just go like crouch medium punch. Or forward medium punch.
Yeah, and no, then, dash up 6 medium punch. I like a lot. And
yeah, dash up 6 medium punch is surprisingly strong. I figured out surprisingly strong.
It reaches so much
this is a perfect moment to high low, and then you just didn't do it, which is fine. But like the other thing is, like if you're not gonna do that, like 70% of the time, the person that after they see you jump right here in an advantage situation is going to up back.
Yeah.
So or at least the average person is going to up back, because it's omega strong, so I would just air grab.
Okay. Now, yeah, there we go. That's kind of what I try and do. Delayed Bomber doesn't care about Emigrit, which is fun. I didn't go. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be better. And then not blocking.
Advantage situation. Good block. This is a great PVC
I don't know
punish.
how I
That's like an almost guaranteed PVC punish.
Gelato was definitely waiting for it, but this time to the pillar, thankfully, and then mix.
Yeah, they knew, but it's fine. It's like, as long as you know, like you know that they know, and that's like something to keep in mind for like later in the set, right? So like that exact situation happens again, and you just block the reversal and then maybe punish.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about by crouch light, crouch medium, pillar. It's not the first time.
Yeah.
And so this best of 3 happens after.
Yeah.
I got a.
Okay. So I've resolved, like, since I've fought so many doubles, I've resolved to like never shooting a shot in like mid screen like that, like where they can dash up, crouch hard punch. You never shoot a shot at them, because either way, there's like 2 things that they're gonna do. They're gonna dash up, crouch hard punch you, or they're gonna dash, jump, like jump, hard punch. It's hard punch, right? Yeah, hard punch you. And like either way, you could risk it for a biscuit and call like and do like M shot, but if they jump, the M shot's gonna miss, right?
Yeah.
So. Like, you can do M shot, but you're not getting anything off it. You're just gonna hit them, and then you maybe det the tier. And like some doubles will actually panic. Like I know Graham has done it before. I know who's another double? Who's another double? Definitely JP's done it. I remember that. JP's done it. Where they like got hit by the M shot, and then they'll just panic hard for some reason. And then you're like crouch me punch detting, but then you can just pillar the car. Like it's an interesting situation that happens occasionally, where sometimes they just panic. I don't know why it happens. It's not that often, but you know.
Usually, like Gelato's the first double who's really blown me up like that. So the way I ended up playing the double matchup at that range was just get a shot on them and then crouch medium punch, because that character has no way to deal with that. But I never knew that I was putting myself at risk by getting the shot on you in the first place.
Yeah, you're like if you're. I want to like this is kind of a controversial take, but like double just shits on Farah. Just entirely. It's not even controversial really, but it's like she's better at mid screen than you. She has a better like technically projectile than you technically, and she has all the tools to beat you at like literally any time. So you really have to play like a longer mid screen like game with her where you're just dash blocking, dash blocking, dash blocking, and then she's gonna start doing dumb stuff where like double can't really open you up. She's gonna like
Yeah, no,
dash up throw you or
I don't know.
something
The
dumb.
double matchup to me feels a lot like at full screen it's just lane wars, same way like Kua or Valentine matchup goes, where you're kind of
Yeah,
just
it's like
trading
a lamer
projectiles.
ground based like Kua Val matchup.
Once you get to like 2/3 less mid screen when you're in Fugazi knuckle range, that's more double territory. But once she gets closer than that, once she gets close enough for you to like jab or two medium punch, I feel a lot better on the Paris side. And so it kind of, for me, the way I end up playing it, it ends up feeling like I'm in like my jab range, I'm in my comfort range. They push block me out to Fugazi knuckle, I push block them out to full screen, and then we just resume neutral.
Then you resume like the zoning weird
Yeah.
tango that goes on. Yeah, yeah, that'll happen. But like the way I look at it is like when I'm in that mid screen territory where she could just shoot me. If I find a moment where like I can just dash up, crouch me, and punch them, and then get them in a weird position, it's just like something to like keep in mind. Because doubles will match.
Low. Okay. How did that not connect? Actually, I'm kind of sad.
If she dash back.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
look at that.
Yeah, that's normal.
No, I swear.
Yeah, the animation overlays with the hitboxes thing.
Here.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to be going into slow mo, and then frame by frame. Okay.
Yeah. You got like shook by the overshoot frame.
Yeah, no, so because I feel like this is something Rice, sorry, catches me a lot with Wing. They
Is that
catch
what
my
they're going by now? I have no
yes,
idea.
they catch my backdashes a lot, and so I'm curious as to why this didn't quite when well, I mean, we saw why because that's how the hitboxes work.
Yeah, but it's like okay, so the way I see it is like this is good. Okay, so like roll back all the way back.
Round start.
See, you see how this is? The start of her dash is slow, right? And then it becomes like quicker and further away as it goes on. So what you really want to do is you want to cancel your forward dash with your light kick, and that will catch her more often than not if she's back dashing. Right?
Yeah, that's what I did.
No, see what happened here is you got more than halfway through your dash animation.
Oh, you're okay. I see. Yep. You're talking about wave dash things. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to like cancel your forward dash animation really early to catch the round start. If you're gonna do crouch light kick, if you did crouch medium kick here, it would have caught. Okay. But like,
and I also
it's like something to keep in mind.
Yeah. In general, I think I need to be crouch medium kicking more versus Parasol trying to catch back dashes because it'll also low profile any shot, so I don't get any trade shenanigans.
Yeah, but it's also slower, so
it is.
It's like something to keep in mind.
Damn, resume speed. Have I forgotten the keys? Oh, I hit the slow-mo button on the actual replay. Whoops. That'll do it. There we go. That time I caught it and didn't combo.
Oh, almost got the combo.
So here, when I got this, is it my job to approach or to back off like I did?
It's up to you, honestly. You could press advantage, like roll it back again. Here, keep going. So and pause once you get the jump and you get the tier.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay, there's two ways to look at this whole situation right here. So you saw how she got stopped by the tier and then she just immediately backdashed. You didn't have to jump here. Like you could have just shot another tier. You're in advantage, right? And then you could take that moment of advantage where they're push blocking a tier to set up like bike guide to go even further, or like throwing like a tier debt, or not a tier debt, like an H toss out.
Yeah.
What I want to kind of like put in your mind more is to leverage tiers like H tosses and tiers as like another way to just get a tier on them to respawn and move.
Yeah, that's usually the way I end up feeling about it. I guess I just like my goal in all of these semi-zoning or even the zoning matchups for Robo and P is the goal is to just get a tier on them and make them move again.
Yeah,
The more
but that's
moving,
like
the more stuff.
that's also something you can do with para, like against para, like as para against para,
and that's
it's like
I think
it's
that's
harder
usually
to
what my
fit
goal
in,
is.
but like that's a situation where you can do that.
Yeah, I think that's usually what my goal is. I just don't hyper focus on it, and again, I think I'm definitely just defaulting to dash jump way too much.
Yeah, because even if like you shot a tier there, after, like if you didn't dash jump here and you shot a tier, Gelato could like react and then just crouch slide kick or M egret it, but they can't do anything about like a tier being behind them and a tier being in front of them. They're in a like pretty awkward situation, which is not that terrible because they have an assist, but you're forcing them to respond and to use the assist, and that's like what you want to do as a solo is leverage them like using their assist and punish them.
And then I mean if I get them to call their assist here, then's a good time to dash jump heavy kick because it'll one hit the assist, two go over any tiers they try and layer behind it, yada yada.
So you're like laying more traps for them, like you're not like just you can afford, like, I know you like play this aggressive playstyle, but you can afford to like set up a moment where you're forcing them to have to do something or respond or commit. Like if they like super jump like floated, you could sniper them, and then you're in an advantage again, and then you're on them, and then they're like probably feeling pressure and they're probably going to reversal more likely than not. It's like forcing situations.
One thing I've really been actually struggling with, do you get a confirm off of dash jump heavy kick landing on them? Because I can never pick up off of them.
Yeah.
Do you jab after?
You have to do it lower to the ground.
Okay, so I have to delay the jump heavy kick a little bit.
Yeah, but it's not like by much.
Okay.
It's like if you did it, if you committed to the button like right here, like the startup would be, you would be at the same height as the top of the tier, and then then you would like be hitting them overhead, and then you would hit the ground, and you can convert that.
Okay.
Gotta mind the tiers. Nice jump heavy kick, getting in there. I like it.
Yeah, and then I probably lost.
Understandable. 1 frame difference.
Actually, wait. I want to look at something. Oh, I did it beforehand. Okay. I was like.
Did you try to like pillar there, or?
No, I think I just would have been further away and wanted a Faikai setup, which is probably a stupid thing to do. But I was just trying to see
stupid, but you can afford to be a little belligerent. Like it's not that bad.
Yeah.
That was a good moment for Lo. Like weaving in these moments to get these like forward medium punches, like it sometimes it just doesn't work right, but like sometimes it's really strong.
Yeah, and then kept on backing. And then oh, Scribble Cat. I forgot. Scribble Cat witnessed my death.
So you're kind of getting like worked in the like parazoning, like call forward moving assist type beat. So like again, when I was saying like those moments of advantage where like you have a tier on them and you know they're gonna call an assist, like this is like those type of situations help you like decline that sort of thing happening.
Yeah.
So like setting up traps for like not only just the character but the assist is like prime to like making sure that you don't have to like deal with assist 24/7.
Like, probably need to think about more than layer 1 of the zoning, because I work to get the tier on them, and then I think about chasing them down after they're moving, not necessarily putting another tier on where they're going to go.
Yeah.
But,
So it's like how do I say it? It's like a you're trapped in here with me moment. I'm not trapped in here with you.
Yeah.
Type beat. Like you want to force them to respond to you doing something instead of you having to force a situation.
Yeah.
Like you can force a situation eventually, but you have to put pressure on.
Yeah. And forcing interactions, especially when I can nullify the assist. So like if there's a tier, etc. Those are the interactions I want to be forcing because I just have the advantage playing solo.
Yep.
I need to win less of them. Okay. I was gonna probably look at some other games, but this has ended up just going really in depth, so we might as well just make it a Paramirror fodder-free stream. So I have
That's fine.
some games versus LD now. Who is the other player? I kind of end up noticing myself losing the Para War.
Yeah. Paramirror hard. Paramirror
It's a lot.
Nice. That was
No.
That was a good moment. But that conversion, you have to.
I didn't
know
get dash jump.
That distance.
I thought I was just barely close enough, and then I didn't get my dash jump after the.
Wait. Actually, that reminds me of something. So that actual situation, like where like you're just barely out of the crouch, like or not the back like kick like range.
Yeah,
reminded me of like this whole thing where I realized like Yo-Yo told me this. So before I was doing a route off of like the wiki where like I just autopiloted every single time into the back hard kick, and I got so tired of like not being able to convert it sometimes because they'd just be out of range like that. And then Yo-Yo just like, why don't you just do the regular B&B? And then he's like, he showed me that you just do stand medium kick or stand medium punch, which gets to tier, and LE grit, and then dash up, you know, like whatever.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that for like so long.
I'm definitely aware of that. I just really misjudged the spacing there.
Yeah, but I thought it was funny to put an anecdotal thing. You just got to be ready for that.
I mean, yeah, sometimes you just forget about things your character can do.
Yeah, like I just did not know. I did the B&B like differently or wrong or something, and that was a lot of the reason why sometimes I did routes and they just didn't kill. Is because I did like something different than what Yo-Yo was doing, and then he was like, "Oh."
It's just question
you're
mark.
You're missing that part of it, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
it's interesting.
This is just dash jump light punch, but I don't get the dash. I get jab.
You should just keep it simple and just death the tier, crouch medium punch, and then
I mean
OT with sniper.
Oh, you okay? That's what you want me to do? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like getting the
sniper, or like you just want to death that.
I feel like I'm pretty consistent getting the confirm here, but I'll definitely keep that in mind.
It's not that bad, but like you're getting solid damage off sniper being solo. Like I think it's fine to like get Oki because you know it's pillar butchers.
Yeah, I definitely underuse sniper as well.
Yeah,
it's
like you can force like a Oki and then just like put tiers on them, and then like you don't even have to like absolutely be on top of them to pressure them for like high low. You can
up
just
forward,
put tiers on them.
Up forward jump heavy kick, just smokes pillar butchers.
Yeah, you know,
it's like I have after it.
You have options here, but like that should have been a situation where you're in it, man. You shouldn't be in the situation where you're back.
That's just mix execution. Get the tier off me.
Good block.
Don't get my shot. Get caught. Yeah, there's the classic.
So,
and
you know that burst fit. I know you.
No, so actually, I don't see any parasol do that to me besides LD. So but it's in my brain now because I've been playing LD a lot more, and I really expected.
It's a crafty little bait. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm really not used to the 5 heavy kick routes. Yeah. Like the ones that do this, and so it's just I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get high load here, and I get burst bait right before I touch the ground.
I played like LD and like got hit by that like a couple times. It was like never again. But that was like a long time ago. But it's solid. It's still very good and strong. Put you in the corner, and then you got tears on you. It's so strong. So So yeah, that was a good time for like roll that back. Right there. You both have a tier mid-screen. While this is a good opportunity to like throw like H toss, like which is fine. When you have a character or a person that plays like LD, they're pretty aggressive, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah. They'll zone you, but like they know that they're in an advantage state here based on just health in general. So they're probably gonna push you. What I would normally do here is I would just put up like M toss or L toss.
Okay.
So like you don't always have to put out an H toss to stop them from doing something, but you're both at like a situation where you're kind of like on equal grounds here.
But rather than inviting violence, I can play for space. Like try to
you
find
can
my way
play
out
for
of the
space.
corner.
You're kind of like close to the corner,
Yep.
so you kind of really want to keep them off of you. So that's why this is also like a good point for LD to just go in, because they have lockdown and they'll just like conk you over the forehead. And then, yeah, then you're like right here, which is not that bad. Like this was a fine moment. I'm not gonna fault you for like trying to. I would L shot that too. So.
Not fast
Good
enough.
sniper. I like where your mind was at, but I would only risk doing that if you were a bit further away. Ooh, that was the situation.
I was close.
Yeah, you were close. I would never do this.
Yeah, no, I definitely choose
I don't
violence.
have the guts, the chutzpah to do that.
And this is definitely just a matchup I need to play more because I want to get better at daring her. This is also a situation where I could 2 heavy punch or 5 HP or all different things, as well as up forward, super jump, air throw. These are all things I'm trying to work out getting the timing down more in this matchup.
Yeah. But another thing I want to put in your mind if you roll back to that situation, like you probably know. Well, you don't have to roll it. I can just talk about it. But another thing to keep in mind, like in that situation, is you don't have to commit to that button. Like you saw LD starting to commit to jump heavy punch. Yeah. They're coming down swinging the swatter, right? Even if you don't have like the mind, the set mind to just up back to land cancel it. You could just walk back and make it seem like that you're going to like just take the hit or like land cancel or try to do something, and you just dash behind them. They're committed to the button, so they're facing that way. Okay. They're not gonna like do anything.
Yeah.
So
I definitely think I
walk behind them, jab them, they're gonna get hit.
In that situation, I also oftentimes will backdash and then like either stay there L shot or dash dance forward, like dodge in, out, avoid it, and then try and catch them landing. But I don't think I ever try and really run under people all that often.
Running under in the para matchup, and it like is so strong. Like okay, so like the way I work with Philia or not Philia against Philia and like Fuquas and like Parasols is I will run under them. Like with both characters, with Fuqua and Parasol, I'll just run under because they have such good dashes and like anti-airs, like with stand hard punch or Fuqua and jab with Para. Because they're so long, and you see a committed button, and they have the ability to do it. It's just so strong. And then sometimes you'll get counter hits, which is also like a cherry on top.
Yeah.
And then if you were to get that, you put LD in the corner. Like you just take him to the corner, and then you're hooking. You're solo. You got a counter hit. It's nice. It's like running under is very strong. It's like. While dashing up and like or doing super jump and then committing to a button at like the top of the screen like a monkey is like fun. It's come with inherent risks. Like you can get punished for that.
It's a commitment.
Yeah.
Okay. Dash back, L shot. Yeah. But my own tier betrayed me.
The tier. Nice. Okay, I like the aggression. I like the button choice. Oh, if only.
And then I wasn't spaced right for that version.
Yeah, that was a bit strange. LD loves their back pocket. The push block. I like where your mind was at. I like this. I like this so much.
Yeah, I tried a medium kick. Just wasn't quite.
This is like another moment, like where I was telling you before, where you need to cancel like you cancel your forward dash early.
Okay.
right? So I like where your mind is at, but you committed to like the full dash. Like you're still gonna carry some of that momentum, and your buttons are long.
Yeah.
Like at least crouch medium kick. Crouch medium kick would have caught here. Like if you canceled it a little bit earlier, because of Paris stance being like wide as hell. But I like the idea. Your other idea was just a super jump out, but you know.
Yeah, and I think I tried that earlier and I just barely got caught. So it's like.
Yeah, you probably got hit by like M shot or something.
No, it just wasn't quite fast enough, so my toes got caught and I got dragged back down.
Yeah, you got dragged down. And, yeah, that'll happen. But then a lot of the time, I find if you just do it, even if they go for a second one, you just push block them all the way out and you're free. You just M eager and then you're free.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're free here. Nice. In an ideal world, you would have gotten a hit there, but this isn't an ideal world. Another dash under opportunity right there.
Expecting another shot.
You could also just be snipering them for like super jumping this, which is like a little bit committal, but like
yeah,
it's really good damage.
Very.
What was this?
I don't want to say stigmatized. I don't know what that was, but I'm definitely not a fan of air sniper.
Nice.
And here I need to not dash jump. I just need up for a heavy punch. Definite here.
Yeah, that was. You were like in a stressful situation there.
I thought I had just enough health. I did, and I did the sniper. Like,
yeah, that's counter hit. It will kill you. But yeah, you need to like just find a way to like put them in an advantage situation. Like right there, you just stood there. Like you have to be quicker and recognize.
Yeah, well, I didn't think it was. I don't think I thought it was catching the assist for some reason.
Yeah. I understand that, but you have to be quicker and then immediately know what you're gonna do next.
Yeah.
Like when you have like a jump in, right? You should have an idea of like what certain situations are gonna happen. Like so, when I jump in, I'm looking to see if the point got hit or an assist got hit, and that's something that you just need to keep in mind. Is like what to do when the assist gets hit or when the point gets hit, and if they both get hit, how am I converting?
Yeah. Okay.
So, like if they both got hit and they both got like knocked down or whatever.
If they both got hit, I'm dash up 2 OK or 5
yeah,
OK.
Yeah, dash up 2 OK, launcher. You take him to the corner, double snap.
Yeah.
But like when the assist gets hit, I know immediately that I can crouch medium punch to forward space. Like I know that I can crouch medium punch them, and they have to like respect that, because at that spacing, you like hit the assist, and then you're like not doing anything. They don't want to do anything because their assist got hit.
Yeah.
They're in a shock situation where they have to like fight or flight, right? It's either reversal or like run or like backdash or like dash forward to do something crazy. So the best option there for like most of the time, this is a safe option because I'm a safe player, is just to crouch and punch some shoot shot.
Okay. And then go back into a little bit more neutral interactions. I was trying to anti-air them again. Got stomped, but I'm fine with that.
Well, stomp.
And then
nice anti-air. That was hard.
Confirm.
I don't blame you for missing that. I wouldn't have caught that either.
If I jump heavy kick there, I get into the tier.
I feel like right there, like go back to where that immigrant was. Okay, right here. This is a situation where like you had time to like choose a slightly better option, which I think would have just been to H-toss.
Okay.
Like, cause LD's running from you, right? LD's not trying to like LD doesn't need to come to you. They will zone you and then call their assists, take up shots from you, right? And then like not have to care about you shooting a shot at them. So you can just like throw an H tier to force them to move. And then all you have to really care about is blocking whatever is coming, because the tier's gonna dead naturally. Or you can dead it yourself. but the tier's coming right here, so you might want to just block and then just have the tier there on.
Yeah.
And then they're forced to do something else. But now
Um,
you're in a situation where your tiers are in the middle and you're trying to approach them, which is unideal. And you also have no egret, because egret's still on the screen. Feeling it out. I like the dashing, like the neutral. Yeah, don't let them just dash, just fly around on you like that.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, so like here I tried to.
When you see them put up an M toss like that and they just go for that, just sniper them.
I mean, I don't even get
some funny stuff.
I mean, for that, like, I don't even get Oki off of air sniper. Like, I have no time because of how much extra.
It's fine because you can just put out like you can just put out bike guy and then just toss a tier and then just dash at them. And then you're like have a tier on them, you're an advantage. You can also just shoot M shot if you want, but like sometimes it won't catch. That was a pillar pushes.
I extended into it and learned my lesson.
So like as a solo, this is something to just keep in mind. Like right now, like your spacing to the corner is like death for you in the parasol V pair. It's the death of you in most matchups, right? So you want to fight for space, but you want to fight for space smartly. Like, you know how I was telling you before, when I was telling you in that one situation with toss and H tier, it's not only just to get them to move, you are in the middle of the screen, so you force them to either come to you or like or middle of the stage. I say middle of the stage, not middle of the screen, because reasons. But you're in the middle of the stage, so if you toss a tier onto them, they're closer. They're either backdashing to the corner or they're dashing to you. So you're kind of in a situation where you're forcing them to do something, and then you're also taking space from them, or you're affording an opportunity to catch them doing something dumb with the dash forward. But LD's crazy, so they probably might have like a charge dashing forward anyway. But it's like, it's a concept to keep in mind.
I tried to jump heavy kick over the tier, didn't quite get it. Exploded. Do believe, yeah, that's it. Don't think I have any other paramirrors.
Paramir hard, especially without assist, but like
like I have.
It's doable with like a little better usage of like more of your tools. Like you're only really using tiers, and then, or at least in these matches in particular, like only using like tier, and then like crouch slide kick undershot, and then like I love the use of like dash jump heavy kick. Like that's useful. I didn't start using that until like, I don't know, a couple months ago. And God, has it been useful. But you need to use more tools besides that. Like Para has two other things that you're not really using very often, which is just tier tosses and then like what was I saying? Oh yeah, egrets. So like in those situations where I was telling you to like just sniper them, you can just Oki them with egrets and then toss a tier, and then you're like, in a situation where you're in an advantage.
I definitely do that for incoming. I'll try and mess around with snipe and see how I like it after that as well. Yeah,
but like in these like screen space situations where like you're on the screen and you're like in the middle of the screen or middle of the stage rather, and then you toss a tier on, you H toss them and you force them to respond. And then, like, this is, like, incredibly useful for the Paramir. It's, like, not as... It's still useful even if they, like, have Beam. Because Beam will just get hit by the tier, the H tier on them. And so, like... It needs to be leveraged more that you're controlling space from them by throwing a tier on them that they can't stop. As long as you block. And so, like, as well as when you're in the corner where you put a tier on yourself, that they only have a limited amount of time on you before they're in, like, a disadvantage situation. So, it's like a use case scenario, how you leverage these tier tosses, but, like, more use of them, and the more you become comfortable with them, the more effective you are going to be at controlling space.
Okay. Definitely think I need to be thinking about it more in the game, because I think it's definitely a lot of my autopilot.
I mean, like, the more you start using them, the more you can start autopilot using them like I do.
Well, it will become the autopilot, which is the cool.
Yeah, it will become the autopilot, and then like someone's gonna see the holes, like Namle. Namle kind of sees the holes sometimes, but then sometimes still gets hit.
Yeah.
But they're like working towards it, right? But that's like another layer of like Yomi, kind of. Yeah. It's like an additional point of like, oh hey, we have to actually think about what each other's doing, and then like respond, but like also do it in the most optimal way possible to where our brains comprehend it and autopilot do the most optimal thing.
Yeah.
So like we did focus on like some minor situations where like you could have taken more advantage, but we are also focusing on how do we get to those situations to where you are an advantage, you know?
Yeah.
And that's by using like screen space and tier tosses and then bite guy and then yeah.
I think that's probably.
Bro, I feel like such a nerd talking about it this way. I never really thought about it, you know? Like I just figured it out and just did it. I don't know.
I've definitely gotten good about it when I've had the help with like get grade and stuff. It's like, but sometimes it's hard to verbalize the way you think about the game, and other times.
I mean, but like, it's all also like theory, right?
Yeah,
it's all theory. So it's like has to be like a practiced like thing.
One of my favorite things,
theoretical like sort of things where you force them to do things. Sometimes they just won't do anything and then you just dead it on them and then you're like, okay, fuck you, I'm shooting more shots at you, I'm an advantage. I'm shooting more tier tosses. I have now afforded myself the opportunity to be advantage in the zoning matchup.
And so like
which isn't also solved by the assist, right? And then you have to like rethink about it.
Yeah. And so and like I feel generally pretty confident in the Paramir, so like I will go toe to toe if not winning versus Yo-Yo or like Very or other get great Paras, but then I go like one step further and I'll play LD, I'll play you, I'll play Gelato, and I'm like, okay, I'm still kind of I have more to learn.
I mean, like we're all still learning this horrid matchup, but like it's
7-3.
It's like there's a lot of theory and ideas that you can take away from those few couple things that will definitely push you to like not have to deal with the bullshit of just needing to get these stupid confirms and then like you get one misinput and then you're dead, right?
Solo life.
You can afford yourself like to be more proactive about your space so that you're not forced to have to be in those situations as often as you are.
Okay.
So it's like a more proactive approach. It's not very like aggressive in your like playstyle, but it's like...
So I can definitely use being, and it's not even necessarily being more patient. It's just using the time I buy for yourself better. It's like I can still set up being aggressive. Well, it's like I have layer 1, get the tier on them, and then be aggressive after. But instead, I could get the tier on them, set up so I can be even more aggressive afterwards as well. It's like a couple more layers to be thinking about.
Yeah, it's not like a black and white situation. Tier go, tier not go. It's tier, and then what else can I do to afford myself a little bit more leeway? You know, like if I'm in the worst situation, I'm in the corner, or like I'm in the corner there, like mid screen. How do I afford myself a better way of getting out of the corner and then just getting back to mid screen and we can play pokey all day, right? And then it's like she's a mid screen character. I never really thought about it like this, but it's like she's a mid screen character and you want to stay that way if at all possible, because the more that you choke them out, right, the more opportunities you're gonna get to punish them, and since you're solo, it's gonna hit harder.
Yeah,
right?
I definitely, and it's especially like important to me in certain matchups, like especially the Robo matchup, but in general, I really like forcing people into the corner and then just making them to make a choice. It's like you choose like, wrong, you're getting heavy
those
counter hit.
Toss and tier advantages come into play, and it's so fun. You just get to watch people suffer and choke out. It is so fun. I do it to Graham every single time because he's a little mashy boy, and then he just dies. He hangs himself. It's so fun. And then it's just like, you gotta work your way towards it. It's gonna be a bit difficult to keep it in mind. I only figured this out by like throwing my face at quick match for like 2 years. But,
and I mean that's the main thing VoD review is supposed to be. It's supposed to give me things to yell at myself while playing, so I can actually internalize them.
I really respect like doing like internalized VoD review because I never did this. I just sort of like threw my face at quick match and then just like
I was really bad about doing this, and I'm like, okay, I need to force myself to do it, and I'm like, what's the best way to do this? Okay, I'll make it like a public schedule, and so it's just like every Thursday I'll do this and force myself to do it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I love like when people ask me to VoD review, but like otherwise I won't ever VoD review for myself. Like I know what I did wrong. I know which situations I chose like bad options, and then I reviewed it in my head. But like I feel like a lot more could be learned from like actually going back and looking at it. But that's besides the point. Either way, I feel like if you keep these like couple things I said in mind about being choosy, and then like being a little bit picky, and then like trying to find like we've all said it before. I'm like that player that plays the game and then I find my perfect moment to get in, right? Like we all know that's the play style of ItsHydraX. Find the perfect moment. This is kind of part of that. So
you force the moment.
You force set it up. Like it's not like I'm just like godlike and then like I just happen to get a hit. It's I'm forcing them to get a little bit antsy.
You're the puppet master.
Do something dumb. Yeah, it's a pressure war, right? So, and then that's what like playing against Cloud is like afforded me, and just like it's not always just like I immediately just randomly get a hit. It's a pressure situation. It's forcing them to put their brain in a microwave, right? And then you just do the funny, and then they get mad, and then
they gotta choose between a couple bad options, and if you guess right, you're either in advantage or getting the hit. And it's not even guessing right, you put them into a situation of your control and you choose like the option that's most likely to put you in the best spot. All that sort of stuff.
It's game theory. Like you can afford to like do these things and then like disregard them once you like get a little belligerent.
Yeah. No,
but it's really,
like it's important to know the rules.
You should keep it in mind to be choosy, right?
Yeah, the rules are important to know so you know why you're breaking them.
Why you're breaking them. That's right. So it's like it's useful. It's like game theory. It's a game theory. And I like discussed this like Steam Gorilla like a while ago through like DMs. It's like I don't know why, but I'm fascinated by the theory of it, and I never really thought about it. It's just like a conscious, It's like a subconscious thing that happens with ItsHydraX where I just found it out.
That's another reason why I like trying to help teach other people. It's like I need to know what I'm talking about and be confident enough in what I'm saying to teach it to other people, and that really helps me think about the game in certain ways. I was like,
and then there's like situations where like I haven't thought about this until now, but like what if like we had this VoD review and then we had Sev VoD review this VoD review? Like what would we learn from like that?
Layers upon layers upon layers.
Like layers of VoD review. Like what would Sev think differently about like the things I said and the things I pointed out, and what would they add on to it or like take away from what I said?
And that's why
I feel like that would be interesting to see if like we just got Sev to VoD review this VoD. Like that'd be very cool if we could get that. But I don't know if they have the time for that, but it'd be cool.
I'm definitely that's why I'm definitely trying to bother people for when I'm especially looking at myself, because having another pair of eyes who look at the game differently than I do, because I'm a fairly Unga player at times.
I might just ask Sev like, hey, you got time to VoD review? It's all a matter of perspective. I mean, I'm a retired player, so
retired player Hydra.
But like I feel like some of your decision making was like good decision making, And then, but like most of it, at least held back in these, was like execution. Like,
Yeah, it was
it's
execution
like
and then
just some bad execution.
not
It's
capitalizing.
but you'll
on
work
putting
through it.
myself
You'll
into
work through it
Genshin.
the more you play. Yeah.
But I think it's probably a good place to end it. It was an hour-ish of good review. We dragged 6 games out for a whole ass hour.
I mean, that's theory talk for you.
Yeah.
It can go on a long way.
But I don't know if you had any other major points you wanted to talk about, because otherwise I think it's a good place to just wrap it up.
Not really. I think I covered everything,
Yeah.
at least mostly everything. But I mean, I'm always down for more VoD reviews. I don't know if other people are in the chat who want VoD reviews, but if you want ItsHydraX to VoD review, or like come on here with Dunce and do VoD review, you know, let me know. I'm down to.
Yeah. I'll definitely can yell at you Thursdays when I'm doing other people's yada yada.
It's always nice to get like another like set of eyes.
Yeah.
Like the more set of eyes you can get on something, like the better. Definitely,
Yeah,
for sure.
Always thankful for JP when he would offer his time for this as well.
Yeah, praise be the Lord, JP. I don't know where I'd be without JP. Just like forcing me to play games, and well, not forcing me to play games. But I'd play JP in games, and then like
he's just always
I would
there.
internalize it, and then I'd get mad, and then I would just come back, and then just praise Lord JP.
True. Mans does a lot for the community. Much appreciated.
Hate JP.
We all hate JP. It's like everyone's like, I gotta play JP to learn, and then you play JP to learn, and you just like are cursing him for the next week.
Yeah, you just get clowned on by JP, and then you're just mad. Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, on that note, I think I'm gonna be closing up shop. I greatly appreciate the help, Hydra. Thanks for stopping by.
No problem. Might be back to league time.
Yeah, I'm be shutting off the stream. So anyone else still sticking around, have a good night. I'll see y'all next Thursday. Goodbye.